But anyway, basically, when you look at like Deuteronomy 28, it talks about the curses that was outlined on the children of Israel for their disobedience or whatnot.
Of course.
And also, so now what did you study on the Torah portion last week?
It was that section of Deuteronomy. That whole portion of it. Yeah, that whole thing. Period 27, 28, 29.
So okay, so how do you feel? Because you got the Christian pastors, how they say that the African Americans, that we aren't the real Jews. But then when I do often talk to many Jewish people, they know that we are the true Yehudi, Yehudim or whatnot.
Where's your congregation, by the way?
Well, we all over, we worldwide. Oh, okay. Yeah, we actually worldwide.
St. Louis, where you guys?
Yeah, we got one in St. Louis or whatnot, on the north side of St. Louis. Awesome. Are you out in U City?
Of course.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the. I actually talked to a guy. He was a rabbi. He was on the street Blackberry.
Okay.
It's in U City.
Sure.
And I pulled up and I asked him. I never forget. I think he got offended. I was like, I got a question. First, it was a little boy. He was cutting the grass. And I was like, hey, little man, I got a question. So he came out and I was like, what's your nationality? And I think he told me that he was German. So then I was like, well, so question, who are the real Jews? No, at first I asked him what tribe he was from. And he was like, Levi. So I was like, well, wouldn't that make you a Levite and not a Jew? And he was like, I don't really know, well, my dad's a rabbi. I was like, okay, well, go get him. So he go get his dad or whatnot. And I asked him, I said, hey, and I noticed the ZZs. And when I noticed the ZZs, I was like, well, where's your cord of blue? Because in the Torah, it says you're supposed to have a cord of blue. So then I was like, what question? Who are the real Jews? But then he tried to play me, though, because I read Hebrew, too. So then he was like, well, he don't really read English that well. So I was like, well, I got the Torah right here. So we go to the book of Devarim or whatnot, and we went to Devarim, and we start reading it, and I was showing him that never happened to the Jewish people. So, of course, we know you got the Khazarian Empire. They converted to Judaism in 740 A.D. You familiar with that?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So then you got the authentic Hebrews that are the physical descendants of the ancient Hebrews. So when I tell my people, they don't listen. Why do you think that they don't listen then?
You saying your people? Why don't they listen?
Yeah, the so-called African Americans.
No, man.
I
don't know.
So how did you find out that we were the true Jews?
You're telling me right now,
Okay. So, all right, so how did you become Jewish? How did you convert to the religion?
I didn't convert. My mothers stood at Mount Sinai, a long time ago.
So, but when you read the Torah portion, when you read what happens to the real Jews, you gotta ask yourself, did that happen to my people, or did it happen to the African Americans?
Right. So part of reading the Bible also is being able to read the commentaries and understand, what exactly it means and what exactly it's referring to, because commentaries have different opinions as to what exactly the Christians are referring to. And when,
there we go.
When those prophecies were actually actualized.
But remember what you said, commentary. A commentary is based off what another man wrote or what they thought. But when we actually read Devarim or Deuteronomy, we read it in English or Hebrew verbatim. Right. What happened?
How do you know how to explain Deuteronomy? How do you know what it really means?
Because
let's say you read it in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
How do you really know that you're understanding it properly? Because
there's
so many things in the Torah that cannot be explained. It doesn't make sense. Things that just
and I'm glad you asked that, only because when you look at the Torah or the Tanakh, the Most High, Yah, only dealt with one nation of people. So when you look at it historically, like for example, when you study the slave coast used to be known as the Kingdom of Judah, but today is known as Yudah or Weda. So when we look in historically, we can see that the so-called African Americans are the true Jews. And you got many of Jewish people that are starting to stand up and they starting to speak the truth. Like for example, I got a book, it's called what's the name of this book? It's by Edwin Black. Oh, The Transfer Agreement. Are you familiar with The Transfer Agreement? You gotta get this book. He grew up Jewish, he's third, fourth generation Jewish guy. And basically what he did was, his family disowned him because what he did was he basically exposed the truth on how the Jewish people got in that land May 14, 1948. So when you start looking at some of the prophecies and some of the reasons why Jewish people claim to be the Jews, it don't line up with history. So like when you look at Ezekiel 37 chapter, they'll say that that's one of the prophecies that was fulfilling, that the real Jews are going in that land. But then when you actually go back and review the scripture, you're like, well, wait a minute, that don't really line up. First and foremost, y'all went into the land May 14, 1948. So when you look at what the Jews looked like when they left Jerusalem in 70 AD, they look nothing like your people today. So that's why when I ask Jewish people, well, how can y'all be the Jews according to the Torah? Meaning they kind of get mad, or they don't really have an answer. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it is the so-called African Americans, they all starting to wake up and they starting to realize that they are the Jews. You know what I'm saying? When I say Jews, not the Judaism, because everybody got the right to their religion, but I mean the physical descendants of the Hebrews. Because think about it, Moses or Moshe, he was in Egypt for what, 40 years. And we know that the Pharaoh, the Egyptians were black, come from Ham. So how could Moses would have lived in the Pharaoh's house for 40 years unless he looked like one of the native people of that land? So when we tell, it makes sense though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Absolutely, And last but not least, when you look at like the Holocaust, you know what I'm saying? Sad story, no doubt. But when you look at, have you ever read a book called Germany's Black Holocaust? It's a book called Germany's Black Holocaust. It shows how my ancestors they were persecuted in Germany from 1890 all the way to 1945. And get this, I got another book called World War II. It was showing Adolf Hitler, how he was showing a film and he was showing the Yehudim or the Jews as black. So like, for example, I do got this.
If you don't mind, because I have to finish my shopping, but...
Okay, real quick. I'm going to show you one thing before we go. Oh, well, that's the Kumash. Yeah. Oh, yeah. yeah, I got the Kumash. Hold on.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me put it. Just gotta have it the right side up, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Hold on, let me see. Okay, here we go. Before you go, check it. It's the book right here. Hebrews of West Africa shows the Yehudim or the Israelites in Egypt. That's a really good book to get. And you can see and learn the history on how we as a nation of people were in Egypt. So like when you look here, right there, you see how they got their afros and beards and stuff like that?
Interesting.
Those are straight people of color. And this is in the tomb of Beni Hassan, showing them with afros and beards, what you see right there.
Wow.
You see that? So yeah, but like when you look at historically, you start learning about the transfer agreement, the Balfour Declaration. These are all good things to look up. And you can see how there's been a worldwide plot, a worldwide conspiracy of hiding who we really are. And last but not least, the prophet Jeremiah, or Jeremiah, he talked about in Jeremiah the 17th chapter how we be cut off from our heritage. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at us, we the only race of people that's been completely cut off from our heritage. We lost our land, our language, our culture. Because, we call ourselves black. That's the color of a crayon. You see what I'm saying? Or we'll say African American, 2 continents.
Right.
And last but not least, the kippah?
Yeah.
Where is that in the Torah? Why do y'all wear that? Because that's not in the Torah.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just things that, just look into. But yeah, but a lot of Jewish rabbis, they know.
Gotcha.
All right now.
Fascinating talking to you, man.
All right now, shalom.
All right, shalom, take care.
All right. Yeah, y'all know that these Jewish people do know who we are. They want to play crazy. They only be expecting us to know this stuff or whatnot. But what happened was he saw me. I'm up in Wally World. He saw the Fringes or whatnot. Then he saw the name tag. So he saw, Judah Israel. Like, whoa, wait, what? He got a Hebrew name? Oh my God, this nigger got a Hebrew name? What is going on here? Then he saw that or whatnot. So they know what it is. Straight up. But yeah. Hey, that's what it is though. Hey, they know we the true Jews. They know we waking up. They already know what it is. And when they know you know Hebrew and they know you know your history, they don't even argue it. They just play crazy like they don't really know. So hey, let this be let this be a lesson for all you so-called Negroes out there that think that the Bible's a white man's book. They know it's a black history book. You're the only ones that don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I do got a documentary on YouTube. It's called True Identity of the So-Called Negro. We starting to wake up. We starting to get our names back. And we starting to come back to the Most High. We starting to repent. Hey, we fulfilling prophecy. They know it ain't them. They know it's not them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got a documentary, True Identity of the So-Called Negro. I just want to say all praise to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Long live the king. You already know what it is. Yahoo. Shalom.